All right. It's episode 45 of the Bullheaded Podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Sean Tyson, here with Zoo and Peebush. How you guys doing?
Doing well, man. Got the playoffs underway. Got some blowouts and some good games, man. It's been kind of on the extremes. There really hasn't been much consistency.
Definitely, so. there's some games that are unwatchable blowout games. I've been to one yesterday. The Brooklyn Nets versus the Boston Celtics. Absolute massacre. After the first quarter, you knew it was over. I feel like Brad Stevens gave up in the second quarter. Yeah. Like legit, I just saw a team completely deflated, man. But we got some legendary games. Yeah, legendary games.
Yeah,
like, one or the other.
The Don, man. The Don.
Yeah, the Don. Yeah.
Incredible.
Been on one. He's been on one.
Man. He has been on one. That's for sure. That's an understatement.
Yeah, we definitely have had some playoff matchups that have been kind of, turn the TV off in the third quarter. And then we've had some legendary games. And like I said, the first round, which is insane because you would think it's more of a mismatch, but it just shows how much parity is in the league now with, I guess, most teams having one or two stars, the exception being the Brooklyn Nets. But we're going to dive into it, man, talk about the playoffs. Like we were just saying, it's a lot of storylines, probably one of the biggest with Dallas and the Clippers and just a bunch of teams doing a bunch of different things. So I'm going to start with you, P. Bush. What scenario have you seen that looks, the craziest right now?
I mean, I think the obvious one that a lot of people will go with is like the Lakers Suns, right? It was just such a polar opposite from game to game. I mean, the Lakers just – classic Lakers, man. I should say classic LeBron. Classic LeBron. Any team that LeBron is on, game one of no matter what series he's in, I don't care if he's playing the MVP D-Rose Bulls in 2011, he always loses game one. Man. Dude, I mean, not all the time.
No, but historically, I still remember Derrick Rose has beaten LeBron James like 4 times in game ones.
Right.
And they lost every one of them.
And then they lost everyone after, right?
Even the Nate Robinson Bulls won a game.
They took game one.
And then they got swept right after.
Exactly. So, hey, the Suns kept that streak going. They came out with a nice game. Obviously, CP3 going in and out, with the injury.
Man.
And he can't. He's on. They're putting him on limited minutes at this point. But, I will say, game one, DeAndre Ayton impressed me, man. He was the difference maker. I mean, Book's going to do his thing. We've always talked about Book, man. 17 of 17.
He's doing it now in the playoffs, man.
That's true. That's true.
When defensive intensity goes up higher, he's
still putting up 30.
He's passing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable passing on double teams, man. I'm just like
and stepping up because CP3 is not there to do that.
Yeah,
right
he
now,
has to play like point now with him and
Campaign, who had a nice game too.
Campaign, man. I remember this dude was like the worst NBA basketball player I've ever seen on the Chicago Bulls, man. He had a blooper reel in summer league of how bad he was. The guy got shipped to China because he was so bad at NBA. Came back and resurged his entire career with the Phoenix Suns. Incredible,
with a great
man.
Team. And he's in the rotation. So shout out to Monty Williams for at least, trying to manage CP3. I know CP3 is dying to be out there. It's one, he's playing against arguably one of his best friends in LeBron, right? First time they're facing off in the playoffs, but just unfortunate situation. Hey man, it's still a tied 1-1 series and they're in those games, even with CP3 being in and out, right? I checked the score last night. I had on the Mavs Clippers game mainly, but the Suns made a last second push in game 2. And then I checked back and they lose by 7. And I was like, well, they just got to learn to close these games, right?
I think the problem is though, with CP3, you had 2 All-NBA players against 2 All-NBA players. And their supporting cast is actually really nice. Jay Crowder, he's pointing out DeAndre Ayton, who's playing like an all-star in this series.
Mikal Bridges.
And Cam Johnson. Like, they have some snipers. Like, they got a nice group of young players who could shoot threes, and they D up. But without CP3, man, it's over, man. Like, I thought this thing – yeah, dude. Like, before this year, I had to go in six game, maybe even 7 with the healthy CP3. But without CP3 at full capacity, because the guy can't even shoot a shot. Like, I would legit just double off of him if he plays the game because he can't even shoot threes right now. So, without Chris Paul, 5-game series now.
You think so?
Series.
You think they're going to clean sweep? I think I think it'll go 6. I mean, I initially going into the series had Suns in 7. I think that was kind of my gutsy pick for the first round, just with the Lakers. But look, man, I agree, Zoo. I think that the Lakers, they have way more weapons. I mean, you saw Dennis Schroeder have a nice game yesterday, especially in the first half, right? That was big. That was huge. Drummond too. He had a nice game.
Man,
but
that
AD,
surprised me, man. Drummond in game 1 looked lost.
He did.
Like, he legit looked lost on the basketball court.
Bright lights.
Nice little double-double. But yeah, I don't know.
He's been on the Pistons. He's been on the Pistons and Cavs for too long, man. He's finally on a good team, and he didn't know what to do with himself. But
game 1, he looked like Kwame Brown.
He did. Yeah, you want to talk about a guy who's been in the media lately, Kwame Brown, but that's besides the point. That's a little vintage Lakers right there. The Suns need a third guy to step up, man. Cam Payne did step up in game 2, but it just wasn't enough. Booker really wasn't that efficient from the field. Now he was 17 to 17 from the line.
Out at the end though, man, all those foul calls, I was just like, man, just give me some extra numbers right now.
But the series that I'm just very interested in, and I've watched both games, is the Blazers Nuggets, man. I mean, the games they completely flip flopped. I mean, Dame and Jokic are going to get their buckets, man, and Jokic has been abusing Nurkic.
30 points, man.
Yeah, 30 points back and out rebounding Nurkic, which a lot of people were, surprised with because Nurkic is usually he could and should be a more physical player than he has been playing in these 2 games. But if you notice that the difference maker in game 1 for the Blazers when they won was Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony coming in, having a nice game off the bench. And then you go to game 2, and the Blazers bench is atrocious. I think Carmelo, he was probably like 2 for 6, something like that. He didn't really touch the ball that much. But the Nuggets had Paul Millsap have a very nice game off the bench. So we know that McCollum and Dame and Jokic and MPJ are going to get theirs on a night-to-night basis. I wouldn't say that they fully cancel out because Lillard's going to be dropping 40 and Jokic might match that. But MPJ has had 2 nice games. Even Aaron Gordon's played pretty well too. But it's really going to come down to who's that 4th or 5th guy that's stepping up on either side and being the difference, because that was the difference between game 1 and 2 is Melo in game 1, Paul Millsap in game 2. That's what stood out for me because the score is nearly flip-flopped, and they're both very high-scoring offensive teams. But the backcourt of the Nuggets, they can't keep up with the backcourt of the Blazers. It's just they're dropping like 60 a game.
I like the adjustment though. They're putting Aaron Gordon on Dame Dollar, having a bigger athletic wing guy on Damian. Yeah, I love that adjustment because right now, like Dame Dollar, that guy shoots 3-pointers from 40 feet like free throws, man.
Yeah,
it is incredible. His form stays the same. Regardless of range, he shoots the same shot every time. Like even Steph Curry does a little chucking motion while Dame Dollar just pulls up like a normal jump shot. I'm just like, how does he do it, man? Practice. So effortless. Man, because you even see Trae Young try to shoot those type of shots. Yeah. He's chucking it a little, man, which he's known guy. For. Yeah, and he's a good 3-point shooter. He shot those threes back in Oklahoma. But Dame Dollar's on another level right now, man. Dropping 30 points easy right now, man. Dame Dollar. But the problem is, man, this Blazers roster, this Blazers team, it's been the same team every year, man. I swear to God,
never changed.
You got Dame, you got CJ, you got Nurk if he even plays, man, and they got some nice average wings. Their wings are always just bunch of average Joes, man. One year's a Trevor Ariza, now you got a Melo, and these guys Gary Trent. They had Gary Trent Jr. Now they got the guy from the Raptors. I'm just the guys that they get are just too and the backcourt. I think they peaked, man. I think after this, I think they peaked. They made it to the Western Conference Finals that one year, and they got whooped by the Warriors without Kevin Durant. Yeah. But they peaked. I feel against this Nuggets team without Jamal Murray.
Yeah, without Murray.
This is without Jamal Murray, and it's a pick'em series. If they had Jamal Murray, they were probably winning. I would say 5 or 6 games. They would easily be favored. So. If they're struggling against this Nuggets team without their second best player, how are you going to win a title? And as an organization, the Blazers organization, Dame Dollar has made the playoffs pretty much every single year he's played except his first year. Yep. So, he's been in the playoffs every single year in the Western Conference, which is mad impressive.
And hit big shots.
And he hit some of the most legendary shots ever, man. This dude come up big in the playoffs. Yeah. I feel he's going to get frustrated at some time in the future, man, because, this roster has been the same exact roster for the last couple of years. So I'm just the talent upgrade, there's no significant talent upgrade year over year.
And they're not getting good draft picks, right? And that's the other thing, right? So they either have to take advantage, like how the Nets took advantage when they traded all their first rounders away, for KG and Paul Pierce in that situation. They found some gems in their scouting, right, which we've talked about, turned into trades to get what they have right now. If they're really going to try and, I don't want to say start from scratch after this year, because Lillard he's dedicated to Portland, man. He's the type of guy that they drafted
build around him.
They took a chance on him out of Weber State, small school, obviously a baller, but he wasn't that well known coming out of school, or as well known as others. And he's got that chip on his shoulder, like, I'm bringing this city a championship, man. Right? But they just haven't. I think that the front office almost became complacent in the fact that they think this team could win, and that's just it's not true, because
I don't know why they're thinking that.
Yeah, because all the other teams are constantly moving, and they're thinking, oh, they don't have chemistry. Our teams has perfect chemistry, right? Something along those lines. Obviously, we're not in the boardroom discussions, but look, man, I agree, Zoo. They need to somehow either upgrade their big men to be able to spread the floor even more than they already do. But they're just getting abused by Jokic right now. And not that anybody predicted Jokic to have a horrible series, but
that dude balls in the playoffs, man.
He does, and he's so calm. You don't know what's going through his mind, as I've mentioned in the past. You can't get in his head. And without his running mate, I have to continue to shout out MPJ and now Aaron Gordon, because they both really stepped up around Murray missing. So that's a series I still have going 7.
7 games.
I got it going 7.
I would say still a pick'em series.
I agree. I think best case scenario, the Nuggets would probably win in 6, but I see the Nuggets winning in 7. They just have one more experience in Game 7 situations, as we saw last year. They went not 2 for 2, but and it is a pick'em series, but it's just sad that they're missing their one star in Murray, and that's what makes it a pick'em series. It's
the crazy part is
Blazers are good, man. They just need to step up. And
the crazy part is, man, if they had Jamal Murray, man, they'll be title favorites, man. They'll be in the The way some of these other teams in the West that are playing right now, man, if they had Jamal Murray, legitimately, they would be the top 2 or 3 teams in the Western Conference right now. Yeah. Like easily right now, especially with the injuries. And speaking of disappointments, the Los Angeles Clippers. Oh my Lord, man.
Yuck.
Dude,
oh my God.
It's laughable how bad they've been. Like, they got 2 home games, right? 2 home games, and they lost both of them. They lost their last 2 games so they could play the Dallas Mavericks
and not the Lakers.
Avoid the Los Angeles Lakers in the second round, so they have an easier path to the Western Conference Finals, which is a big milestone because they've never done it before. So that was the main goal, to do that. So at least if they lose in the Western Conference Finals, be like, we're making steps. But no, they might lose in the first round right now. And because the one man only, the Don from Slovenia, Luka Doncic. I'm telling you right now, Luka Doncic right now is playing like the best player in the NBA.
He is.
Best player in the NBA. His gravity, his passing is incredible.
Those one-leg shots.
Finney Smith? Who the hell is Finney Smith, man?
I don't know, but he makes him look good.
Jacking threes right now, making a splash. Tim Hardaway Jr. looking like Ray Allen right now. Yeah. Ray Allen, his form is beautiful, but the guy is an average shooting guard, but with wide open looks. If you give a good shooter wide open looks, of course they're going to be draining threes right now. That's what you're supposed to do for your job, because if you double team Luka makes the beautiful pass for an open 3 across the court. If he doubles from the far end, pass to one guy, gets the hockey assist, because this team's a great passing team. So it kicks it to the 3-point shooters, because they always have at least 4 3-point shooters, almost 5 3-point shooters at a time, because you got Kristaps Porzingis, who finally showed up in Game 2 after a disgraceful Game 1 performance. Yeah. So when you got KP jacking threes, just like coming down the lane, man, like, we got a center, give it to the 7-3 guy, jack a 30-footer, man, because that top of the key 3, splash money, man. He loves the top of the key 3. So I'm just like, man, the way the Mavericks are playing, it is unsustainable, though, because if you shoot 50+% from 3-point line, to sustain that shooting is like, my Lord, man. If they shoot 50%, man, nobody can beat them. No. They shoot 50 from 3, man. That's just historic, man. And they're an average shooting 3, like, in the regular season right now. But I don't know, the Clippers defense, man, looking pathetic.
It does.
Awful.
It almost looks like they don't try.
Right. Like, it's like wide open.
Right, yeah. dude, and I'm just, I like I said, I didn't watch the full game one of this series. I caught, parts here and there. But I did watch some of the game last night, and man, dude, the shots Luke is making are just ridiculous, man.
He's hitting those
the one-legged shots from
like
29 feet out. It's like, come on, man. Like, what do you do? I don't give a damn how bad your defense is or how good your defense is. You cannot stop that, and it makes your defense look even worse than it's already at. But look, they have the Clippers have zero third option. Like legitimately zero. What do you got? Reggie Jackson giving you 15, right? And then he gives you 2 in game 1.
I can't believe he's playing meaningful minutes, man. He played in the fourth quarter. A lot of minutes.
Rotations. I don't understand his
weird rotations.
No
Rondo. Like Rondo plays less minutes than
they have no chemistry.
Reggie Jackson. Like that's a little odd. Like no Serge Ibaka. Like I barely saw Serge Ibaka, man. They were running with Zubac and Batum. So I'm just like, the rotations are just a little weird. Like, my thoughts about T. Lue, Tyronn Lue, man, aka a LeBron James product, and he looking like he's getting exposed right now because he hasn't even used Luke Kennard. Like he's a nice
and
player.
They paid him a lot of money.
Yeah, they paid him $16 million to sit on the bench in a playoff game. What is going on? Like Serge Ibaka was a nice pickup, man. This guy can hit threes, could be a rim protector, and they need a big guy to guard the paint. He can guard the paint too. So I'm just like, the rotations are weird. They have all of the talent. Like even Kawhi Leonard, like he had an awful second half, but his first half he dropped 30 points in the first half, and they're like barely up. So I'm just like I don't know what's going on.
Well, Zoo, think about it though. I mean, you're talking about you were mentioning that the Mavs are hitting like 50% from 3, right? Well, the Clippers' gameplay, man, is a lot of mid-range, right? That everybody knows that's kind of their forte. I mean, they can hit threes as Kawhi and PG can shoot, and some of their guards. But if you're coming down and dropping 30 on mainly 2-pointers, right? If you're Kawhi Leonard, but every time you score, they're getting one up on you because they're making a 3, 1 out of every 2 times. I mean, what are you going to do about that? I mean, there's literally
what you do. You get the ball out of Luka Doncic's hands.
That's
every
easier said than done.
No, this is what you do. Instead of like letting Luka dribble the ball half court, like make it tough on him. Full court press, double team him.
In the NBA?
Yes, absolutely. Yes,
come on,
make Tim Hardaway Jr. be the primary distributor or ball handler because Luka Doncic is dribbling up no pressure at all.
Yeah,
and they're getting an extra time in the shot clock. So if you pressure Luka Doncic, what else is Pat Beverly doing? He doesn't do much on offense, and he's not doing much on defense right now. Where they're down the paint, can't really stop Luka Doncic, who's 6'7", who's a strong boy. Like he could push him down. So pressure him up the court to tire Luka more. Make it difficult on him. Make Luka pass before he gets in his nice little pick and roll action or before they double team him at the 3-point line and force some other guy to be the primary ball handler. Like they do not have a second primary ball handler. It's Jalen Brunson. Like when Luka sits, Brunson is the guy that runs the show. He's actually solid. Like as a backup point guard, he runs the show. He's pretty good. But I rather have the ball as Brunson as the guy outside of Luka Doncic because outside of Luka Doncic in the starting lineup, there is no ball handlers out of Luka. No. Tim Hardaway's catch and shoot guy. Like everybody else are just
Sorry.
So I'm just like Josh Richardson. Like all these guys are just the shooters. So very one-dimensional players. Like Luka Doncic is the only two-dimensional player. Like even Kristaps, he's just a jack and threes guy now. Like, he's just a marksman right now. He doesn't do much in the paint. Yeah, he can't. Guy 7'3" can't even rebound a basketball. He's just shooting threes right now. So I'm just like, Luka Doncic is a better rebounder than Kristaps Porzingis.
That is
better
wild
instincts,
right?
He has better instincts too.
Yeah,
and he's probably Kristaps might be more athletic than Luka too, which is even wilder. Yeah,
that's so true.
Hey, but Luka's the thing that I agree with you. I think they do need to. I don't know about full court pressing him, but I think they do have to for sure pick him up at least just inside, the opposing side half court, right? So. If you're meeting him 5 feet outside of your side of the court, like you said, I mean, you're forcing him to make the first pass, right? Earlier rather than he would like to. So
you know what else they could stop doing? When they do get in half court sets and Lucas because I saw it towards when I watched the highlights this morning, what they can stop doing is switching all the time. Because what people are not, I guess people are noticing it that really follow the game or follow these last 2 games.
Yeah.
Every time Luka gets it over half court, he sits either at the top or at the wings. He dribbles. He waits for whoever's on Pat Bever's guarding to come with a switch, and they don't fight over it.
Nope.
They just switch. And if you're switching, that's automatic buckets or a great pass to get to a shooter. Like they did that every time last night. And that tells me that the reputations of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard as defenders, it's done. Like, you know how they have those badges in 2K? You got to strip those badges off of them.
Kawhi
You're
Leonard
switching every time. You can't do that. That.
Kawhi Leonard is overrated on defense.
He is.
Because he's the offensive guy now. That's why.
Dude, because you got to spend more energy. Obviously, most defensive guys play defense because their offense sucks so much. So you just you got a bunch of energy, right? Yeah, you got more energy. So obviously you could D up more. That's why you've seen that from all these former two-way players. But when you focus more on offensive end, you're just tired on defensive end and you tell everyone else to play defense, which makes sense. That's why Luka, who's a poor defender, he doesn't need to play defense, man. Nope. He's exerting all his energy on the offensive end. And that gives his team the best opportunity to win. That's why the thing about two-way is nice to have, but you don't really need it, man. You don't need it. That's why you have role players. Yeah, exactly. You have role players who could do that type of job and focus their energy on there. Because Kawhi Leonard, on screen and rolls, he gets stuck on screens, man. He misses defensive assignments. When they do switches, Tim Hardaway Jr. wide open, man. Wide open. Finney Smith, wide open. I'm just man, this defense, it looks like the Chicago Bulls right now, man. The way they allow three-point shooters shooting, they're shooting 50%. Because they're wide open. It's not like they're hitting contested three. Maybe Luka hit a couple of those. But the role players, most of those shots are just Luka passing, good boom, wide open three. I'm just beautiful movement, man. So I'm just the Don right now, man. He's playing like a Hall of Famer. He's playing like an MVP. He's playing like one of the greatest players of all time, making this Clippers team really just garbage. I'm just what's going on? It's a really good team.
You and I were talking about how the Clippers might be the team to make it out of the West last week. We were talking about that.
I was no one's talking about the Clippers. And I'm this team's too good, man.
I'm sitting here well, I gotta eat my words at this point, man. They're down 2-0 going away.
It's not over yet, though. It is. It's not over yet, though. Obviously, if they lose game 3, down 3-0.
They've been hot. But
I feel it is possible for this Clippers team to pull off 2 wins still against this Dallas Mavericks team. Because the team is 2-1. It's just Luka. Luka is the definition of MVP right now because it's a one-man show with a bunch of role players and making Tim Hardaway look like a freaking all-star right now. And he ain't no all-star. He's a nice starting shooting guard who's going to get paid this year because of Luka Doncic, man, making him look like Ray Allen. And it's been beautiful to watch
But he's been hitting the shots. I don't care how open you are. It's still the bright lights. You hit that shot. Tim Hardaway has been the difference maker for their team.
Yeah,
it's a fact. It's a fact.
And Brunson.
Yeah, Brunson.
Brunson too. Because like Zoo said, I always forget that he's really their only secondary ball handler.
Yeah. And there's only 2 on the team.
Yeah, and there's only 2 on the team. But the Mavericks know that, and they built the team to fit that, right? So they put 4 shooters because they know they only have 1 ball handler. So they're like, all right, well, we're just going to jack up threes all game and hope that our efficiency is better than yours. And it's worked for 2 games, right? But, Zoo, you and I love law of large numbers, man. It's bound to rebound back.
Regression to the mean, man. Regression, Kleber ain't gonna be hitting threes all day. Finney Smith, he already had a bad game. I feel like he's just not that good of a player. So it's crazy part is you think about that Kristaps Porzingis trade. Might become the Hardaway Jr. trade right now because he's the second best player on the team.
That's true,
right? They got both Hardaway Jr. and Kristaps. Hardaway Jr. Dude, But the weirdest part about the game was their free throw shooting was atrocious.
It was.
Luka Doncic pulled a
They would have probably won by double digits.
2 for 7 from the free throw line. Hardaway missed 4 free throws. He won 4 for 8. The entire roster, they shot almost less than 50%, man.
Better 3-point shooting than free throw shooting?
Yeah, what is that? What's going on? I don't even know if it's nerves at all because I feel like Luka is clutch. He is built for these moments. But Luka sucks at free throws.
Maybe he's too tired, man, from exerting all that energy on offense.
I really can't explain it because he has good form. There's nothing jacked about his form. He's a bad free throw shooter, and I think that's his biggest weakness in his game right now. And if he keeps continuing doing this, I feel like the 3-point shooting percentage is going to go down a little more. So the game's going to get a little tighter. The Clippers ain't going to go down 3-0. No way
No,
you go
they're
down
not.
3-0.
They're not.
Going down 3-0, man. That's embarrassing.
Role players do
man.
play better at home, though.
Yeah,
So,
that is true.
I don't know.
True.
I don't think they're going to shoot 50%, but role players traditionally play better at home. So the fact that they played so well in the 2-0, like
I'm just saying, Hardaway Jr. had 6 threes, man. He shot 75% from the 3-point line.
that's not going to happen. No,
Exactly. And like he's their second most important player right now. So I'm just like,
that's definitely not going to happen.
Clippers should win game 3. They should win.
It's desperate. And you know what? I tend to think, even though it's the Clippers, they might tend to get, especially if it gets close, they might get some calls because we can't have the NBA. And I don't think
the NBA gives a damn about the Clippers.
They don't care,
man.
but it still starts.
They're a terrible franchise,
they don't
man.
give a damn.
They're one of the worst franchises in NBA.
But they got stars, bro.
They got stars, but my lord, man, I don't know what's going on.
Because what would that second round matchup be if Dallas does make it? What is that matchup? It would be Dallas.
Trailblazers.
Like, so you mean to tell me?
It'll be Trailblazers or Nuggets.
It would be.
Yeah.
No, that's LA's bracket.
No, one plays
LA.
one. No, because Zoo they play 1. They play 1 or 8.
Oh yeah, they play 1 or 8.
4 or 5 plays 1-8. 2-7 plays 3-6.
Oh, they play. Oh, Jazz. Yeah, they're the
So
easy
that's why,
bracket.
because if the Lakers beat the Suns, right, they'd be going up against the Nuggets, and that's what the Clippers were trying to avoid.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The Clippers, and that's another thing with the Clippers,
Which is hilarious, by the way.
I don't understand why they tried to get to Dallas when if you've watched them play Portland, who they would have ended up probably
They
playing.
owned them.
Yeah, I
They
don't
owned the
understand
Blazers.
it. I don't
agree.
understand why they did that.
No,
I guess because and you know what I think part of it too is it goes back to last year, and I think I may have mentioned this on a couple other pods. Like Luka, when he played them last year, they really should have beat them last year. They didn't have Brunson. Luka got his ankle rolled by Marcus Morris stepping on it.
Porzingis.
And then Porzingis wasn't there. And they still took him, 6?
6 games.
So, I mean, they're confident. And I think maybe with Dame, too, maybe Dame coming in would have seen blood. Because remember, they were the same guy. I think it was Paul George and Pat Bev laughing at him when he was shooting free throws and missed them. So I think they were probably like, we don't want to see that. So I don't know. I mean,
there's for sure some grudges.
Weird.
Some good grudges lead to great NBA games, though, man.
Dude, I love it.
And you know the grudge I'm looking for, Zoo? That grudge that Madison Square Garden's holding up against Trae Young because D Rose, man, he spoke some facts today in press conference. He goes, man, the NBA is getting soft, man. Like that's part of the game. He's like, I used to, be at games and my mom would have like a beer poured on her from a opposing team's fan. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here like, well, then Trae Young's getting off easy if that's the case. But he hit that nasty shot in game 1. I know most of the other series outside the ones we've talked about, they're still kind of entering game 2. And nothing besides that nice little game winner he had. Nothing else really from first round stood out to me especially I love my Grizzlies, man. But Jazz were without Donovan Mitchell. Yeah. I'm glad they took game 1. But look, man, the Jazz did have some guys that stepped up and scored in his absence, and I don't know if they can keep that going. So, I think the Grizzlies are going to force 6 games, but I still got the Jazz taking that one home too.
Yeah.
So, the Grizzlies are the first one, game 1 win. Like that's a must-win game.
Yeah,
they're without their best player. Like if you can't beat them without their best player, and then you're gonna get swept. Like exactly. I'm still surprised he didn't play Donovan Mitchell. Like,
that's weird. I don't know if you guys were reading that. It was
he wants a challenge.
He was wanting to play, but then the staff was like, nah. And I think part of it was because I don't know what I was watching. It was something on FS1, but they were saying Donovan was like, I think rehabbing with the team and it wasn't going right.
Yeah, so he got his own people.
Yeah, and then he just was like, okay, I'm ready to go. And the team's like, nah. It's kind of like, we didn't clear you, like whatever. I don't know if it was a power play or what that was, but I mean, that's still weird because it's like, we all think Utah's going to win the series, but man, I'm telling you, if they end up losing the series somehow, and it was because they lost that first game,
they look like the team that would lose a 1-8 series, man.
Right.
Out of any one seed in history, man, the Utah Jazz. I'm just like, Rudy Gilbert, I'm sorry, man.
It's because their second player is a defensive guy.
Exactly, that's my point, man. You need that second perimeter. Like
Rudy is a great
Bogdanovich is pretty good, man.
Conley had 22. Bogdanovich had 29. I mean, Gobert had his typical low teen scoring.
And shout out to Joe Ingles, and Jordan Clarkson, man. Pretty much, they went 1 and 2 and 6th man of the year. So legit, they got 2 6 men off their bench right now, and that's why they're so good because they're such a deep team.
But yeah, man, watch out for that. Watch out for that young Grizzlies backcourt because they're looking pretty damn nice.
Yeah,
right
shout
now.
out to Dylan Brooks. He's been balling. His defense is unbelievable. Incredible defense. Like I feel
two-way player.
He can hit an open three, I guess. Yeah, he's a 3-and-D type of dude. And like he will be obviously D'ing up Donovan Mitchell as the primary matchup pretty much the entire game. They're in the match minute per minute because John Morant won none of that against Donovan Mitchell, man.
No.
John Morant
he'll live with Mike Conley.
Yeah,
he'll live with Mike Conley.
John Morant got to orchestrate the offense and do it all for the Grizzlies with Valanciunas, but you skipped over that Hawks Knicks series, man. I got shout outs to my boy D Rose and Taj Gibson playing meaningful minutes. They're playing meaningful minutes. And Derrick Rose with the reverse layup package, man. Yeah. He still got it, man. He still got it, man. D Rose still got the floater packages, the layup package looking real pretty, but I forgot.
Julius Randle.
Oh, Julius Randle was atrocious.
23,
I think that was
atrocious, man. Like it was definitely jitters because it's obviously playoff atmosphere, man. First game at the Garden, all that noise, all the lights on you, looking for
Spike Lee
ISO.
looking at you.
Yeah, they're looking at him ISO, man. Like Julius Randle ISO. I'm like, man, that's your go-to guy, like your best player. That's what I'm thinking. Like Julius Randle in the playoff series, man. Oh, it's gonna be tough, man. Even though he dominated the Hawks in the regular season, man. I'm just I feel like because Alec Burks.
That's what I was just gonna say. He was their best player.
On anomaly.
He looked like Kobe with some of those shots. In the mid-range game, the clutch three, man. Yeah. He looked incredible. I still remember he was on the Utah Jazz a couple of years back then. Man, he found a home on the Knicks, and he's the second best player.
Scoring wise, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, Alec Burks, man. I thought the dude's out of the league, man. Yeah, I'm like, this guy's incredible. Like, the Knicks bench low-key is very, very incredible, man. Like, their starting lineup sucks. Like, objectively, it's a bad starting lineup. It is. But their bench is loaded. Quickly, the rookie, some of those deep, Steph Curry type threes, man. He had two of those deep threes. I was like, man, this kid's got confidence, man. Maybe Julius Randle could borrow some of that confidence, man. Most improved player, man. You got to step it up. You got to step it up against the Atlanta Hawks team.
Another pick'em series.
Yeah, it's definitely a pick'em series, man. But, dude, Trae Young, man, this guy's a superstar, man.
Doing his thing.
Trae Young is an incredible player, man. I'm so sorry my Bulls missed out on getting the opportunity to draft Trae Young. This guy's the second coming of the next era of great point guards. Him and John Morant, these up and coming, these are rookies and sophomores and juniors, man, playing the league right now, and they have been incredible. Yep. And Trae Young's ability to dominate as a scorer and a passer. Oh my Lord.
Really good as a
Jesus Christ. His pass is incredible. His floater game, the mid-range in the playoffs, man, underrated. Because the way all these NBA teams play is this drop coverage where you just give the paint with floaters and mid-ranges because that's the worst efficient shot in the game at the mid-range. But the way Trae Young hitting those floaters, man, he's making them look real efficient right now. So
bringing the stats up by himself.
Dude, legit, man. Legit. So I'm just like, man, Trae Young, man, he's the best player in the season. I picked the Knicks in 7, but, man, I'm getting a little worried, man, because Trae Young is by far the best. Yeah, Trae Young's by far the best player in the series. And I think they're more talented, but I had to go with my boy D Rose because he got to make it to the second round, man.
Hey, quick update with the score is 45-40 with the Hawks up, and Julius Randle in 13 minutes has 2 points and 6 rebounds. So I don't know.
Julius Randle is getting exposed in the playoffs, man. There's a difference between 82 regular season players and 16-game playoff series players, man. There's a difference, man. Some guys step up, aka the Don, and some guys shrink, like Julius Randle.
Another quick update. The Sixers are up 20 on the Wizards.
Man, get off the broomsticks, man. They sweeping them, man.
Six. Hey, and Zoo, the funny part is, game 1, I was like, damn, dude, the Wizards might pull this off.
Played a good half, Jay. Played some good half.
But hey, also, I don't want to skip that over. Tobias Harris earning his cash, dropping 37 in game 1.
He's another 3 and D guy.
That was good, man. Yeah,
about damn time.
He's stepping it up because this dude's making $30+ million. You better be getting 30+ points then in the playoffs. Yeah. That's my rule, man. Okay, he had a good game, but the Washington Wizards, no one gave him a shot. I don't think anyone in the entire world picked the Washington Wizards to upset the Philadelphia 76ers, man. Like, Sixers, man, like, the team is too talented. Obviously, Ben Simmons, Embiid, Harris, man, the high-level talent, man. And even, I love Seth Curry in the starting lineup, man. He's just such a perfect fit, man. Him and Danny Green as snipers, man. Three-point shooters. Obviously, Ben Simmons can't shoot at all. Guy missed all his free throws last game.
That's why he scored 6 points.
My God, Ben Simmons.
God, his offensive game has kind of regressed. I don't know what's going on.
He's he can't right now, though.
Dude, I thought he was going to be the modern-day Magic Johnson, man. Like, nah, he's more like – he's closer to Draymond Green right now.
He's got 20, Zoo, right
on
now.
The Draymond Green, on
maybe
the Draymond
offensively.
Green, Magic Johnson scale, he's close to the Draymond right now because, I don't know, his offensive game, man, like you're against the Wizards. You should dominate against the Wizards, man. Like, they're an awful defensive team, man. Awful. Like, man, like
Alex Len.
Oh, is that dude in the NBA? Oh my God, man. No, and Russell Westbrook obviously having an atrocious game again. 2 for 9 from the field, 6 for 10 from the free throw line. Terrible at shooting, man. Like, shooting, just freaking shooting translates in the playoffs. Shooting is very valued in the playoffs, and obviously he's getting exposed right now. And that series is what I call irrelevant.
It is. It's the most irrelevant series, in my opinion. Outside of maybe Celtics Nets now with all the injuries. So.
Yeah. I'll tell you that. Celtics Nets is the worst.
Oh, that series is awful.
That's going to get nasty.
Yeah,
they might sit somebody.
Like, Kemba looks injured too. I'm just like,
rotate your 3 future Hall of Famers, man. Give them each one game off.
Dude, legit, like, man, they're gonna be chilling on the bench. That's a 4-0 sweep, man. But this Milwaukee-Miami series, Pat, Miami was your dark horse. Obviously, they pulled a miracle last year. Incredible. They even won 2 games against King James and AD, and that was a good Lakers team. But this year, after that incredible game 1, and Chris Middleton obviously ended that game with the game winner, incredible shot.
Nasty shot.
That game 2, I was hyped for that game. Man, I turned the game off at halftime because it was so bad. Man, I felt bad for the Heat, man.
Second quarter.
I turned it off second quarter.
Bam Adebayo. What the hell happened to Bam Adebayo, man? He sucks now.
Their entire team just lost their juice, man.
He doesn't look at shooting mid-range. I'm just like, what happened to his confidence, man? This guy had a full game last year. Mid-range jump shot, attacking the paint, man. Like do-it-all center type guy. He doesn't even look at the hoop. Well, he's getting left wide open to shoot jump shots.
And Zoo, the funny part is he still outscored Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, Jimmy buckets, man.
Jimmy Butler is Bam, dude. But we know Bam is getting his average right now. Maybe not efficiently, but he's giving you 16 a game. But Jimmy Butler giving you 10? Are you kidding me? In game 2? I mean, they lost by 34, and him dropping 25 wouldn't have made a difference. But man, like, they need everybody. Last year when they made the finals, if every single player that we expect now to do well was clicking on the same cylinders at the same time. Jimmy Butler, Bam, Goran, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero.
Yeah, where the hell's Tyler Hero?
Yeah, Tyler Hero.
That's the one I'm looking at,
man.
That's what I'm looking at.
1 for 5.
The one I'm looking at is Hero and Jimmy Butler right now, because Bam, he can still affect the game in different ways. And Goran had a nice game 1. Duncan Robinson, 7 of 13 from 3.
Duncan Robinson is playing well.
Yeah.
He's playing well.
He's playing well.
Goran Dragic is balling.
Yes, off the bench.
Is unreal. Every time I watch Dragic play, it's beautiful to watch. His jump shot is so pretty, man. He gets in the lane, man. He's a playoff performer. Yeah, but man, Tyler Hero, he took a step last year, and now he took 2 steps back.
2 steps back.
I'm just like,
if not 3.
Man, I'm just like, man, this guy was his favorite play is like Devin Booker, trying to be like the next Devin Booker type guy, the 2 guard that does it all, getting buckets. Yeah. Man, he regressed, man. I don't know what happened, man. He must have partied too much in Miami after the bubble, man. Because this guy looking like he hasn't improved his game at all, man.
He had a song, and he had a song named after him. I think his life's complete, man. He's done.
Oh my gosh, man. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, he needs to be more aggressive.
I think they'll
field goal attempts, man.
They'll get game 3.
They better get game 3 because 3-0, that's
at home.
Game over. They gotta win, man. The good thing is they're going back home against the Milwaukee Bucks, a team that has blown a 2-0 lead.
A couple times, I think.
Yeah, against the Toronto Raptors. So
yes, you're right.
A couple of years back. So 2-0, it's series definitely not over yet. Going back home, man. Like, if you get 2 wins at home, it's an even series right now. But man, 132-98. Eric Spoelstra, what the hell is going on? That's all I got to ask.
Yep.
I think
Miami's
problem too is it's like not just one person's having a regression. Like Heroes regressed. Bam Adebayo is kind of stagnant. I guess you can kind of say he's regressed.
He was way better last year.
Way better. Jimmy Butler's kind of an enigma because he has moments where he's clutch and he's tough and he gets to the line and he, draws fouls and stuff like that. But he's overall not a great shooter.
He's regressed as a shooter in his career.
Yeah.
He was actually a decent shooter.
He can make big shots, but he's not
he's not a good shooter. And
he's a clutch shooter, but not that's not his go-to move.
He missed a bunch of layups. How don't you watch last game?
Yeah.
He missed a bunch of layups.
Turned it off second quarter.
I turned off second quarter.
I'm like, what's going on? Jimmy Bucket's missing layups? I'm just like, oh my God, what is going on?
Yeah, he's just not a good shooter. So I think it makes it even more like of a big deal because you got guys like Hero and Duncan Robinson is holding his own, but other guys on the team are not.
He's doing his role.
Him and Goran.
Kendrick Nunn.
Yeah. Kendrick Nunn? That dude's starting? Kendrick Nunn is starting point guard in the playoffs? That's bad. I'm sorry.
Put Goran in, like they had him in the freaking playoffs last year. They started Goran, man.
I'm just like, Dragic needs more minutes because he is probably their most reliable player right now.
Zoo, if you remember, Kendrick Nunn started, during the regulars or the bubble, right prior to the playoffs, right. He was their starter prior to COVID. Then they come back to the bubble and the playoffs run. They put Goran as the starter and they make the run. Well, why don't they make that same move that they did last year, this year? Maybe it'll work. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to balance out their bench and versus the starting lineup. But
they better figure it out.
They're a sorry-ass team right now.
Yeah, it's bad. Man, they really need Oladipo right now. He needs some talent right now. And obviously, with injuries, he ain't coming. So I'm just like, this Miami
He's going to be out for a while, too.
Yeah.
That's a sad story, kind of, actually. Oladipo. He's had a lot of stupid injuries.
They said he won't be cleared till the fall, man.
And he's a free agent. Yep. So nobody's going to pay him.
Nope.
Like, who's going to pay Oladipo max money coming off injury? Who's have a history of injuries now?
Yeah.
Like, man, sucks for him, but man. Houston Rockets, man. That's all I can think about. They traded for him, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whoever Houston gets in the draft, it better be worth it because that trade and crap they pulled off with James Harden.
They gotta be praying. They get the number one pick, aka Cade Cunningham.
I think the NBA is gonna hook them up, bro.
Oh no! Hopefully they hook up the Chicago Bulls because we are needed of a star.
You guys are not that high of a pick. Though.
Yeah, we're the 8th best odds right now. 8th best odds. I think it's like a little over 5% chance, but I'm just praying. I'm praying.
Yeah. Well, this draft's I think deeper than the past one, so. You guys
it doesn't. The problem is we only get top 4, man. If we don't get top 4, we lose our pick to Orlando.
The Vucevic trade.
Yeah,
jeez,
that could really hurt.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna hurt. I don't know. I'm trying to spin that to a positive light. Like, it's gonna hurt. You don't get that top 4. It's gonna hurt.
No, it's gonna hurt. We have a 1 in 4 chance of getting a top 4 pick. So I'll take those odds. 1 in 4. Come on, luck. We need all the luck in the world, man.
Somebody's got to start buttering up the Adam Silver.
But, damn near.
We're gonna this.
Yeah.
I've
written off the Bulls for the next year or two, man.
Yeah. But we're gonna do this last topic with a quick little aside with the NFL. I saw it live when I was working. The whole Shannon Sharp and Julio.
That was incredible, man.
That was crazy. It almost seemed like Julio wasn't aware that he was on live, even though like you could probably understand why if Shannon Sharp's calling at that time of day or whatever, maybe he's live on TV. But it was like everybody was like, yeah. He told him. It's like no. He had a conversation with him. Then he told him at the very end, "Hey, you live." It's like, wow. Because I don't know if you know Julio, his like tone changed after he was like, "Oh, okay," and he still was talking like, it's all good." And he hung up. And the next thing you know, it's on all the freaking blogs and all the websites and all the Instagram, like everything. So.
That was legendary, man. He's just like, man, Skip, I'm going to call Julio and ask if you want to trade.
Yeah, and I don't think that was scripted either. He just did that.
Dude, it was definitely. Did you see their reactions? They're like, oh, we really doing this? Because obviously they did pre-show preparation. Definitely. I was like, oh, Julio, it's your favorite uncle.
Yeah. But I think everybody had a, kind of an understanding that Julio was going to kind of try to leave, and they're trying to get compensation for him. Feel bad for the Falcons because now their whole bargaining of trying to get a decent draft pick or a player is kind of like out the window because everybody knows he wants to leave now. So that sucks. But I'm going to ask the guys what they think real quick. What potential fit would be best for Julio and Zoo? What you think?
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, we need to see if he could be a true QB as a thrower. He's never had a number one receiver. He got a bunch of number two Marquise Brown. He ain't a number one receiver, man. The guy was god awful fantasy football. And the guy drops passes, man. You got to give this guy a legitimate option. They're going to be a good team again this year. Trade your first round pick. Do it. Just do it. Give Lamar Jackson a weapon that he's been dying for. He's been asking the organization to get Antonio Brown because he wants a receiver so badly, a number one option. Now you don't want Antonio Brown, the clown case. Only Tom Brady can handle Antonio Brown.
He's a duplicate of Marquise too, so
yeah, I'm just like Julio Jones. This guy historically has just not been injured that much, so he's an injury warrior. This guy plays through injuries. He always
hamstrings
plays,
usually. Yeah,
he always plays through them, man. The guy gets injured because obviously football is a game, but he plays through injuries. And you got to see if Lamar Jackson can be the guy, and he's never been given the weapons. You see all these other young quarterbacks balling. Look what happened when Stephon Diggs was given to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Guy was an MVP candidate that went to the conference finals. I'm just like, damn. Dude, I'm telling you, you got to give these young quarterbacks a number one option to see what happens. And I feel like that's the perfect fit for him.
But Lamar, man, can he even get him the ball?
We have to see. We don't know right now, man. He got a bunch of bums. Mark Andrews sucks. I'm sorry, man. That dude drops passes all the time.
No, he's not that.
No. When you watch the game, Lamar just loves chucking it to him. And he's only one of the tight ends that has high target counts. Obviously, to catch some passes. But dude drops passes all the time, man. Mark Andrews ain't that good. Julio Jones. If you give him that weapon, we can see how great of a player Lamar Jackson can be. And that's what you got to know.
You know who I want? I want him to go to the Chargers. Combo up with Keenan Allen.
Oh, they already got Herbert Keenan Allen, man.
Nah, man, they're different players. It'd be like if the Packers, they're trying to entice Aaron Rodgers to continue to stay there, man. You bring in Julio.
Fire GM.
Yeah, I don't know why the GM's still there. God, come on, man. Let's wrap this up.
There obviously, the Ravens are the front runner. That's what everybody's talking about. But, I don't see him going up to Green Bay. I think obviously he might not like that weather up there, playing in a dome and down in the South for his entire career. But look, man, that'd be a great fit for him to possibly win. He'd be alongside another future Hall of Fame wide receiver in Davante Adams, who have very different game styles. I think they would complement each other very well. But once again, I think the weather is a factor. Would they trade within the NFC? I don't know. They said that they don't want to trade him within the NFC. So I went over to the AFC, and I'm thinking, look, man, the Chargers are going to try and make a push. The Broncos are only trying to get better. You got the Chiefs there. You got the Raiders over there who are somehow always around 500. The Chargers need another, addition to their offense to make them even better. And with that year Herbert had last year, with Keenan Allen being his number one, think about if he had Julio Jones and Keenan Allen.
That's too much riches, man.
No, it's not.
Dude, yes,
no, it's not.
Keenan Allen's a legitimate number one receiver, man, and he's got
weapons.
He's
not down the field, though. He's not down the field.
It doesn't matter, man. He's just got your safety blanket, man. Your go-to guy. Who's Lamar Jackson's go-to guy? Mark Andrews. Give him a real weapon and see what happens, man.
Sure. And, he might work with Julio and become a great quarterback. But from right now, I mean, Andy, if you would have told me last year that Josh Allen was a worse throwing quarterback than Lamar Jackson, that's just not true. Josh Allen had talent to throw the football. He just didn't have a guy there. At least we knew he could throw the ball. Lamar cannot throw the ball, man. That's just known. He can't throw it beyond 25 yards accurately. So
don't need to, man. Julio Jones, you can just give him
I don't give a damn.
I'm telling you, man.
Herbert's could be the better young quarterback than Lamar Jackson in the long run. I think as a quarterback scenario. And if I was Julio Jones, I know he's going to a tough division if he were to make that move. If he's trying to win a championship, go away. Just go to Green Bay, man. Don't give a damn about the weather. If you're trying to win and play with a great quarterback,
him and Devontae would be nuts.
Yeah, and they would complement each other great because Devontae's a slot guy, and Julio's that outside threat dude, and we know Rodgers can bomb the ball. So those are the two teams that entice me. But I do think that he'll probably end up going. The Ravens will probably be willing to pull that trade off more than the other two. but I don't think it's going to be as good of a fit as some other options.
I like the Ravens too because people keep forgetting about their first round receiver. They got Rashad Bateman. I don't know if you guys have watched him. Like, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's a 6'2" guy, runs really good routes underneath, can go get it. And I think it could almost be a situation like, I don't know if you guys remember way back when DeAndre Hopkins got drafted to the Texans, and people were kind of like questioning that as like, why was he like the first receiver taken in that draft? And he like got tutelage under Andre Johnson, and then DeAndre Hopkins ended up becoming one of the best receivers in the league. I think Julio, not saying Julio's anywhere to like he's ready to retire and just do whatever, but he could be a good mentor towards Rashad Bateman, which if that works out within maybe a year or two, then you have Julio, him, and Marquise. That's a good little trio. And then Lamar's definitely going to have weapons.
And Julio did that. I mean, Roddy White did that for Julio, and Julio did that for Calvin Ridley. And Calvin Ridley and Julio reciprocated that to Calvin Ridley. He's got mentor experience, and he's got to be what, 33, 34, something around there at this point. Julio,
maybe. I'm not sure. I have to look that up.
But he's
32.
The Falcons are asking for a first rounder, right? And I don't give a damn what team you are. If it was the Bears, I'm pulling trig. If the Bears did have a first round pick, let's be honest. But I don't care if he's 32 years old. The man still could give you 1,000-yard seasons for the next 3 to 4 years. And are you going to be drafting another number one wide receiver because they already did that this year? Talking about the Ravens. Are they going to need to do that in the next 3 to 4 years? Probably not. So why not spend it on a future Hall of Famer? I agree. The Ravens probably will be the ones to pull it off, but I think he could go to better teams with possibly better throwing situations. That's my only
they would have to
hesitation.
change the offense to it, Ravens.
Yes.
The offense that they run is not geared towards throwing the ball down the field.
At all.
Yeah, so they would definitely have to do a whole different wholesale change.
And you think Lamar's going to pick up on that offense real quick? I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
I don't know, but like I say, if you get you guys are both making great points because it's like if they get Julio, then they would have it could unleash Lamar to maybe something we haven't seen yet because he has been in the league long enough to where he could be starting to throw the ball down the field. But it's like on your point, what you're saying, P-Bush, like they've never done that. Everything's been geared towards the tight ends, back
running
out. And it's worked because Lamar wins all the time. But yeah, he would definitely have to change his offense. I don't know, but it is interesting. I think any team that's any of those teams you guys named, I could see as being a possibility for Julio. It just depends on who's gonna fork up the first round pick. Because now, like I said, everybody knows he wants out. Our team's gonna really give a first for him. So I don't know. It's weird. I think he's probably really the only receiver that like I could see because he is at his age that is worth the first round, but that's it at his age. Like
at his age,
32.
Yeah.
Yes,
Keenan's probably around there if I were to guess.
But I'm not.
He's worth like Keenan. Yeah. I mean, dude, Julio's a future Hall of Famer with his own what he has right now. Even losing in that Super Bowl, all that. What he's done in this league is ridiculous. It's up there with the Calvin Johnsons. So.
Yeah. So. Like I say, we'll keep it posted. I think Julio news is probably going to – I don't know. I don't think it'll come in the next couple of weeks. It'll probably be something that lingers over the summer. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. But that's all the time we have for today. We talked a lot of NBA playoff talk. We will continue to talk a lot of NBA playoff talk. I have a feeling these series are just getting started, with the matchups and things like that. So as usual, make sure you guys follow us on bullheaded_pod. Put a lot of great content up. A lot of NBA content is going to be going up just because of the times of what the playoffs are doing and things of that nature. We'll put in some football snippets here and there, but make sure you guys follow us on that. Anchor, Apple, Spotify, the whole nine. Make sure if you're on iTunes, give us 5 stars so we get the algorithms right. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube page. We go live on Wednesdays. Like you say, I'll give updates on the page if we do any other days when we go live and things of that nature, like a special announcement or we're doing a special pod for some reason. So I'll let you guys know about that. And as usual, for me, P. Bush and Zoo,